things that have brought you to this current moment, and just valuing yourself. As we have given away too much trust or too much of our power, it's turning back and pulling that back in and connecting back with. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. And today we're going to talk about Mars retrograde and discuss the energies coming in around career and finance for each of the signs individually, starting from Sagittarius. Since we're still in Sagittarius season, we're going to start with them. And we're going to take a look at the impact of Mars retrograde on those areas. Get some insight, some guidance on navigating this astrological event. So some of you may ask, what is retrograde? What is Mars retrograde? And so some would say this is really a time to introspect, to take a look at growing in terms of emotional growth, adjusting routines, reevaluating connections and friendships, even business partnerships as well. This is also a time for resolving conflict and just really tapping into self and expressing our desires. This is also a time that some might say we should probably restrain from engaging or initiating conflict or trying to resolve conflict by force. Because Mars is really a planet that is of action. Mars is a planet of aggression and of war and will. We may feel with this type of energy that Mars brings in during this retrograde that things feel a little stifled. In different areas, we may find it difficult to initiate or to get inspired, right? We may need a little bit more oomph to get the ball rolling, to get things starting, to get the spark lit. I definitely have been feeling that. It has taken me a couple of days to even come and do this reading for all of the signs, even though I know this is something that I was wanting to do. And so Mars retrograde happened on the 6th of December in the sign of Leo. And so it's very fiery, right? Around the 6th of January, it's going to go into the sign of Cancer. And so we may delve into a little bit more of the emotional aspect of this, or more of the astral, more of the cosmic side of this retrograde around January 6th, and then it ends around the 23rd of February, still in Cancer. And so we have a little bit of ways to go, a nice little ride. And so there's definitely going to be some interesting, I feel like for some reason this retrograde is actually going to be very positive for many reasons. And so we're going to delve in and see how that's going to affect Sagittarius first and foremost. Then we're going to go to the other fire signs. Then we'll delve into each and every element after that. We'll go to air, and then we'll go to water, and then of course we'll go to earth as well. And so thank you for stopping by. Make sure you like, share, comment. Take a moment to delve into the timestamps that will be below and jump to your sign after you watch this. Or actually, I forgot, I'm going to be doing every sign individually, so you don't have to go to the timestamp. And so thank you for stopping by anyhow. This first one is for starting with our fire signs, excuse me. And so let's get started. Thank you for stopping by. If you are looking for a personal reading, I will leave my I won't leave it there, but I will post at the beginning and then at the end my email so that you can um, email me. If you have comments about the video, you can email me if you want a personal reading, or you can just click on my calendar and just schedule your reading that way as well. Okay. So this is my email, LettiSpeak@gmail.com without the S. Okay. All right. So this um, first reading will get started here. Thank you for stopping by again. Let's do this. Hello, Saji. Welcome. Welcome to Blood Moon Oracle. Tonight we are going to take a look at the energies that the Mars retrograde is bringing in for you around love and connections, around career and finances. Okay. And so, welcome. Before getting started, I'd just like to let you know, like, share, comment. Um, if you're looking for a personal reading, this will be general, Saji. And so you may want to email me if you have questions around my readings, or if you're looking for guidance, or you can go straight over to my calendar and schedule as well. Okay, Saji. And so today, let's take a look. I will not delay the time. We're going to go ahead and jump in for Saji here. Okay, Sagittarius. All right, and this is for Sagittarius. So I did pull out my cards just for the sake of time. I tend to, be long-winded. You all know that. And so I'm starting with love for you, Sagittarius. And the energies that I pulled out for love, I wanted to take a look at how these energies are going to impact you, how it's going to manifest, and then any advice that Spirit may have for you, Sagittarius. And so the Hermit came out. And so this is how you will be impacted by this energy. And so when we look at the Hermit, I do feel like this could be speaking to someone who has a little bit of experience. The Hermit gives me the energy of wisdom, of someone who, has some, uh, you know, some experience under their belt. And so this is someone who is wise and aged in some type of way. That doesn't mean you have to be old. You could be an old soul and be somebody who's, have this very sage type of energy about you. But it has some connotation of being in a time where it's impacting you in that way, causing you to take a look at what you've learned. Take a look at how you can draw up the wisdom that you've learned around love and connections. And so during this time in retrograde, you could find yourself retreating from connections, retreating from the energy of love, and really withdrawing for a specific time and attending to your healing. In this picture, there's a man with holding a staff. That gives me the indication of some level of wisdom. Anytime I see a staff, that means wisdom and power, right? And then there's a snake crawling up the staff, and that gives me, that healing sign, the Sadducees, I think is what it's called, where the snakes are intertwining on a staff. And that's like even the modern day sign for healing. And so for many of you, I feel like it's going to trigger some type of energy of healing for you, Sagittarius, where you may be pulled back to replenish yourself, mind, body, and soul. Now, if you're in a relationship, you may in fact be feeling that energy of pulling back. And of course, not forever because you're connected, you're in a relationship, but this may give you a moment to really assess the inward man and then even cause blocks to be, removed in regards to your connection. It could serve as a very beneficial thing, what's going to happen during this Mars retrograde for you. If you are not, in an immediate connection, you may have just walked away from a relationship recently, Sagittarius, and finding yourself alone, which is okay because that time is needed. This may be a time that you're not jumping right into the next relationship, but you're taking a moment to just kind of regroup and replenish yourself from that relationship, and moving away from the energy of love, even retreating back to familiar surroundings, right? If you've been off on kind of like a love rendezvous with a relationship, you may be reconnecting with home, with your family, now that you have more time to do that. Some of you may even be traveling literally or just traveling to kind of reconnect with your roots. Um, this is how it's going to impact you. These things will be coming up for you mentally. It was clarified by the Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles clarified the Hermit. So for me, what that says, Saggy, is that you've moved away from something that may have been, for some of you, it may have been something very drama influenced, something that was just didn't have a lot of peace around it. You're moving away from that into calmer waters, and you may have a lot of support from your loved ones during this time as you're moving away. Some of you may be literally moving, right, away from a relationship and moving to a place and taking your family to a place that's going to be much more peaceful, right? I get that indication as well. But overall, this is you moving away, whether that's forever, just moving to the next season of your life, or whether that's just for a time. To do some introspection, some healing, right? The Four of Pentacles give me the energy of being really stable and secure. This particular retrograde is going to give you a sense of stability as you take this time to really assess your needs mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, Sagittarius. And it's going to place you in a very stable, very grounded position, and even cause you to realize how valuable you are and the value that you bring to the table when it comes to connections and love. I feel like for whoever you are, you're very stable, very secure. For some of you that are in relationships, this is going to remind you, of what you bring to the relationship. And I think overall that in many ways can add value to the relationship too. Each of us in relationships, we need to understand like what we bring to the table, right? That adds value to the relationship. And so I'm seeing that for you, Sagittarius. And then I have how this is going to manifest for you next. And what came out for you, Sagittarius, I can get at nails, is the Wheel of Fortune. Very nice. I like this. This is how it's going to manifest for you. Now, this Wheel of Fortune is very interesting because this talks about your destiny appearing or being guided towards or having your destiny unfolded right before your eyes. So the Wheel of Fortune symbolizes this energy of fate and this flux that happens within the universe. And it talks about becoming conscious of our consciousness, the light consciousness, and the subconsciousness at the same time, making us fully aware of our humanness. And this turns us to this interesting idea of destiny being at work. And so, how this is going to manifest to you, there's going to be an unfolding in some type of way that may be different for all of you of destiny for you. And I feel like it's going to become clear as well. And so there could be certain shifts that you feel in your relationships. If you're in your relationships, this will manifest as kind of like feeling something has changed between your connections, especially as it pertains to affections. This is the Wheel of Fortune is a really positive card too. And so this could also manifest as just feeling things are just good, feeling a very beautiful sense of happiness that you realize or that just comes to your awareness. Like, I'm like really content. I'm happy here, you know, with your relationships and with family as well. This could also be with friends, connections with work, or this is like bringing this energy of fate into the picture to bring you into this energy of appreciation closer to your connections. If you're looking, this means that things are turning in your favor in regards to the potential of a relationship. Things during this Mars retrograde will actually turn towards your benefit when it comes to connections and relationships. So you can actually look forward to like an upturn of things when it comes to love potential or when it comes to connections, right? And so this is whether you believe it or not. That's the good thing about this. Whether you expect it or not, like this is going to happen, is what Spirit is saying. And that may be more so romantically. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who may not currently be in a connection. This is the message coming to you, letting you know, yeah, you can expect it. Okay. And to really be sensitive to all of the signs that you may be receiving. That's also how it may manifest in this time. You may get messages specifically, you know, related to your situation. You may get signs that Spirit is sending you. They may send you synchronicities pointing to this potential to bring love into your atmosphere. The Wheel of Fortune says that love is most definitely fated for you if you're currently not in a relationship. Now, the Wheel of Fortune was clarified by the Strength card, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Swords came in reverse. And I'll tell you why in a second here. So first of all, I feel like this is definitely going to show up in showing how aligned you are for this moment and how you can actually release the need to try to control or plan something. I feel like it's going to show up and show you how Spirit has your back here. When we talk about the Wheel of Fortune, we're talking about destiny, we're talking about fate, we're talking about the universe being at work, right? And so this is going to show up, and there are going to be things that you see during this time to show you that this is coming regardless. It's coming regardless. And one of the beautiful things about the strength is that Spirit recognizes that you've done the work, right? She's sitting with the lion. Now, how many people you know sit with lions? How many people? Lions sit with lions. People don't sit with lions, right? So there's something very interesting. There's something very special about her. And it says something about The fact that the lion represents the work that she's put in her life to be able to sit without fear, to be able to sit with confidence, right? In pretty much any situation. Right now, we're talking about love. So this says that Spirit recognizes the work that you've done on yourself. You've put in the work, right? And now it's almost as if Spirit is saying you've earned this um, unrevocable thread of grace, Sagittarius, and you can relax. We got this. You just sit there and look pretty or look handsome. We got this, is what Spirit is saying. With the Ten of Cups, this is really being able to feel the joy of your connections in your relationships. Again, as I said, you may just, get this sudden realization of how fortunate you are, like how content you are, how things have actually turned out a lot better than you actually anticipated, right? You may look around and just realize all of the love and support that you have. The Ten of Cups is a card of great fulfillment, and it's about having joyful connections. And so this could be people coming into your life in this capacity, but this could also be you appreciating the connections that you already have and realizing just how fortunate you are this month. That's how it's going to show up. And then the King of Swords coming in reverse just basically says that there is no need, right, to strategize. There's going to be a release of strategizing. There's going to be a recognition of the need to release your plans, your strategies. You're trying to work things out because the King of Swords is very strategic. He's as a very intellectual energy that is in the know of everything, right? In the middle of everything. And being that he came in reverse, number one, it says that you don't have to do anything. You don't have to strategize. You don't have to worry about things, being in the right place at the right time. Spirit is doing that for you. Secondly, this coming in reverse, because the King of Swords is not really emotional, right? He's more headspace. But being in reverse, that means there may be the opportunity, or it may be safe to sink down into your heart space. You may find yourself being a little bit, especially as the retrograde transfers over into Cancer. I feel like there's going to be a little bit more of that connection emotionally as we seep into that water energy. Okay, and so it's going to show up that way. You feeling safe to love again. You feeling safe to open up. You feeling safe to release control, right? Whether you're in a relationship or not, these different ways that it's showing up could apply. Very beautiful energy, Saji. I'm very excited about this for you. And then lastly, Sagittarius, to look at the advice around the energy of love and connections for you. These are tips that Spirit is giving around this time. The sun came out, right? It's really good energy, Saji. I'm so happy for you. Like I said, this retrograde is going to be amazing for so many reasons. So the sun is, of course, the happiest card in the deck. So I feel like the advice, the tips are enjoy the moment for what it is. Enjoy all of the good things that you have, those things that the sun is beaming on and causing warmth and happiness. Like seek those things and enjoy those things. I feel like this is really Spirit asking you to make uh, make sure you enjoy and appreciate the things that are going good in your life with the sun, especially as it pertains to your loved ones. those that you are connected to, right? I do see and sense a level of growth coming in here for you, Sagittarius. Your family could be growing. For some of you, you might have babies on the way, grandbabies on the way. Uh, there's this level of growth here and the need to protect what you have, right? And so spirit could be telling you to expect, more of this in the form of little bundles of joy and to understand the value of what you haven't protected, right? And so this is almost like having this paradise or this sanctuary that you call home or that you call family or that you call your village or your community, and having things lying there that need protection, like children, or um, those that are under your care in some type of way, that may need you to actually be like the sun and, guard them. And so if you're in a relationship, the advice could actually be to look forward to this. Keep your eyes open. Look for the good things because you deserve this, right? You deserve this time. This could very well be a time of being able to let your hair down and not be worried about anything, about the connection or the relationships. This also may be a time that you might even be able to take a moment to delve back into feeling a little bit youthful again, you know, allowing yourself to go there. If you haven't been feeling well, this sun also represents a time of feeling better, of recuperating. And so if you are recuperating from some type of illness or being under the weather for an extended amount of time, Spirit is saying, you better celebrate this come up. And you better enjoy life for what it is now that you're back on the up and up. Like, you better live like it's 1999, right? And so this is a demand that Spirit is giving that you would enjoy the connections that you have, the family that you have, the successes that you have made together, right? Family, friends, relationships, whatever you have that you call love, you're being called to appreciate. Okay. For those that are looking for love to come in, you in fact may be starting new relationships during this time. Spirit is saying be open to that, right? And take the expectation out of it. I'm not saying lower your boundaries, but be open for Spirit to bring in what you're asking for. Okay. You could be getting invitations to social events. Be open to that. How are you supposed to meet somebody if you stay on the couch all day? Or how are you supposed to meet somebody if you work 24/7, right? Be open to invitations and to social events during this time is what Spirit wants you to do. Now, this was clarified by the Three of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Five of Wands. Okay, the sun was clarified by these cards. And so, first of all, the Three of Pentacles says that Spirit wants you to stay positive. Like the Three of Pentacles is a very positive card. It's like you love what you're doing, you love where you are. And even where there is a little bit of contention, like you find a way through that. You find your way through those differences, right? For the good of all. And this is you really recognizing how good you are at this. Spirit is pointing that out because that's one of the things that the Three of Pentacles points out. It points out someone who's good at what they do. So there's something here about Spirit saying, you got this, right? Even if contention does arise, there's a way that you handle it that's like smooth sailing. Spirit is saying, you got this, right? And so in a way, Spirit is commending you in how you handle things. And Spirit is saying, continue to do that. Continue to do that. You're very good at it. And the Four of Cups is actually Spirit letting you know not to take things personal. And I'm almost hearing like for someone, this could be you trying to decide how you should deal with the feeling of not being paid attention to, right? The Spirit is saying, count it to their head, not their heart, right? There's something here about withdrawing affections because of indifference or not really being paid attention to for your spouse, from your spouse or something like that, or from your friend, right? It could be from a boyfriend, it could be from a sister or a brother, and there is a tendency to withdraw because we don't feel like we're getting the attention that we deserve. Or there's some type of difficulty that's arising here. And there's this feeling of like being like about the relationship because it's not really giving, but Spirit is saying, work it out, especially with the Five of Wands here. This is bickering and needing to really let go of like the egoic energy here. And so Spirit is really just saying, in ways that we're able to forgive, let's do that. Let's appreciate each other. Let's have grace where we can. Does that mean you let people walk over you? No. But it means that change is on the way. I feel like a Spirit is saying, so be patient, and hold on because it's going to work. It's going to work out. Okay. Not be defensive at every opportunity because people have not gotten it right. Sometimes we do need to remind people how we want to be treated. We need to remind our loved ones. And so, have grace here. The sun being here means that there's a lot that's to be appreciated. We have a lot to be thankful for, whatever that is. And the Five of Wands says that there are some things that may need changing, but be patient as those changes come in. And you have a way of handling these things. And so Spirit is saying, yeah, keep doing what you do. Keep tapping into your gift when it comes to these connections. There's something truly valuable about what you bring to the table, Sagittarius, with your connections. Okay, that's the advice. And then we're going to go ahead and jump into the energy of career and money. Okay, and so for money and career, I did lay out all of my cards for the sake of time again, Sagittarius. And we had the Knight of Pentacles come out, or I'm sorry, the Knight of Swords came out for you. And so during the Mars retrograde for you, Sagittarius, how it will impact you, I feel like this Mars retrograde for many of you as it pertains to your money, your finances, your career. This is really a time where things are slowed down. And this slowing down is causing you to really take your time and not rush into decisions. You may be using more discretion and caution before jumping into anything or deciding anything. Now, on the other side of that, with the Knight of Swords, this is once you make your decision, things take off. It doesn't take you long to get it done. The Swords is one of the fastest moving. I think the Wands is the fastest, but the Sword moves pretty fast. But there's there's a thought out process that happens before there's movement. And so I feel like you're going to have a lot of clarity before you do anything. This retrograde is causing you to get a lot of clarity and to want a lot of clarity with what you're deciding. Now, as it pertains to finances and career, some of you may be having to make decisions. This retrograde is bringing in the being confronted with some of the situations that you have, whether it's deciding whether or not to move, whether or not to shift to something different as it pertains to job or work or business, right? There's something to do with finance or shifting of a job here. And that's how this is going to impact. It's going to bring those things to the forefront for you to deal with them. Now, it was clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Knight of Cups, right? The Eight of Cups is in the shadow side, and the Knight of Cups is coming through from the light side of the deck. And so here there's like a strong desire. It's acknowledging your desire to really progress in life with the Eight of Cups on the shadow side. Like for some of you, this is you acknowledging your need to continue moving forward, to move higher. The Eight of Cups talks about achievement and growth and, upward movement. This is you acknowledging your need to do that, Sagittarius. There's something that you're desiring to do. But at the same time, you may struggle with whether or not you want to even put yourself back out there again. There's something here about wanting to stay at home, Sagittarius, and nourish yourself from home. And so this is bringing up like all these different things that are going through your mind right now. I feel like that very slow energy of being completely informed is definitely working for you, because I feel like the decisions that are impacting your life in the future are very big decisions. Some of you are trying to decide what you want to do, job wise, career wise. And that's a huge decision to make. And so the fact that you're very hesitant and undecided on what would be the right thing is actually a good thing, because this takes time. This has to be something that you give yourself to completely in the decision process. And so there may be some decisions being made here that are being brought up. I feel like there is also a maturing in regards to how you relate to others, like in this sense of providing mutual respect when it comes to your work life for some of you, and making sure that you're acting from a place of integrity. And whatever you decide, it's like, okay, I decided to do this, then I'm going to do it right. Holding true to your commitment and standing in your truth, holding yourself accountable to that. And just really, it's almost given like justice energy, like having a high sense of responsibility and integrity with what you have decided to do or where you've decided to be. This could also be in being able to receive structural criticism too around what it is that you do for work, or what it is that you do for money, for a business, for a career, right? And so the Eight of Wands can also be construed as a travel card. That's why I was saying some of you may be, having options come up. You may be dealing with a decision that you're making, whether or not to move. This energy of travel gives me that energy of moving for a job and having to relocate. This could also be considering moving from one thing to another, like from a 9 to 5 to some type of spiritual work, right? It could be that kind of move as well. But the Eight of Cups also is returning. I did get that energy of coming back to a sense of overall health. So some of you may be returning to work after being out for a minute, or considering whether or not you want to return to work, right? That may be something that is being brought up during this time too. The other card that came out was the Knight of Cups, which talks about you actually being a very stable asset to someone. The Knight of Cups is actually someone who is a great guidance resource, someone who is very loyal, and someone who actually knows how to talk to people, knows how to, get people on his side. He knows just what to say. He has a sense of connection with the psyche, and he uses that to his advantage. And so, this part of the Knight of Cups actually is someone who is kind of like the best of the best, second to none, considered a friend and a rock when you need it. It's that kind of energy. Someone that you would go to in the time of need. And so you could either be being guided or pointed towards someone that would offer this kind of support, or you are uh, becoming, or you are this kind of support, like for others. And there's this level of influence that comes with this too. And so whether this is you or whether this is someone that you have on your side, it's good energy. It's good energy, and it's being pointed out here. This is something that is coming up, because if this is you, Sagittarius, this is letting you know how important you are in your workplace, how important you are in your group. Okay. And so this is going to actually impact you pretty deeply here. There's some major decisions happening right now for you, Sagittarius, and it has everything to do with choices that you're making around work and what you do, and your finances as well. Okay. And so how will this manifest for you, Sagittarius? I have the Ace of Pentacles. And so immediately what I'm hearing is that there is going to be practical manifestations. And so Pentacles talks about money. So there could be money coming in for you during this retrograde time, more streams of income for you. It feels like there's something new that you're starting, a practical venture, a new job, or something about making money or profits, right? Um, it was clarified by the Page of Swords and the Queen of Wands. The Page of Swords is on the shadow side, which talks about starting something new and just jumping in, right? Jumping in, and it could have something to do with giving some level of wisdom or advice, sharing your information in some type of way. The swords is possibly something to do with the internet, on the air, or something like that. But this is about being, I feel like Spirit is pointing out, yeah, this is going to be new, but it's also you delving into a new aspect of something. With the Queen of Wands, this gives me definitely this powerful leadership energy. There's something that you'll be delving into, or starting something new, giving some type of advice, or advising some type of coaching. That's what I'm getting. Something like that. Some type of, because the Queen of Wands is very knowledgeable, very business oriented too. She knows her stuff very well. And so with this, whatever this is that you are, that's going to be manifesting for you, this could be something that you desire to do for a while or get off the ground, right? And it could be something that you almost like in between beginning and mastery almost with this. There could be parts of this that's very new for you that you still need to allow yourself to be in this teachable energy and to be guided with this. But then there's also aspects of this where you're actually very proficient at this. And so for some of you, this could be stepping into something that you don't have any experience in. For some of you, this is stepping right back into something that you're really good at. But there's some increase in money here, whatever you're stepping into. That's what's manifesting here. Another stream of income or more money. Yeah. And I feel like this is going to be very interesting here. Because of the opposites here. We have the Page of Swords, which is kind of like almost like childlike energy. Sometimes the pages can be considered, um, very young and undisciplined, quick to jump in and do things or offer services or advice, without really having a clear um, resource of knowledge, that he's drawing from. And on the opposite side of that, we have the Queen of Wands, which is the very opposite. Like she's very masterful, very proficient in what she's doing. She's actually the go-to person when you want to get something done. You know, very good at what she does. And she's very so good that you even might want to be careful because before you know it, it's almost like the perfect sales man. Before you know it, they've talked you into buying all 12 of their, products here. It's like that kind of energy. She's very, very good at what she does. And so it's interesting that we have these polar opposites here with whatever this is. So I'm going to say that for some of you, this is going to show up as something very new. That's going to place you in this starting position, right? Of needing help, of needing to educate yourself and to become more knowledgeable about what you're doing. And it feels like you'll still be doing it and learning at the same time, right? But on the other side of that, this is something that you're very, proficient at. That's the best way I can say it. Uh, and it's almost like you are it's almost like the energy I'm getting, like you're even like a gatekeeper for this as the Queen of Wands. Like people come to you. It's that kind of energy to do this or to find out about this or to, and this may be speaking to something that will open up for you and speaking about how this will actually turn out as well. And so there's something new. Overall, that's what I'm getting, how that's going to manifest is you're stepping into some new venture that's going to open up for you. Whatever that is, it could be a job, business, project, some type of practical venture that's going to yield reward, some type of profit. Okay. Um, and then let's take a look at the advice coming in from Spirit. And so in the advice, what we have is the Chariot coming in. And the Chariot is bringing the energy of Spirit is letting you know that you don't need to rush. Okay. The Chariot is another traveling card, but it's a fast moving card. And as you can see, she's getting somewhere. She has somewhere to go. And she's serious about getting there. That's why she has two horses that's pulling her chariot. But this could point to travel or transportation, but it really is Spirit asking you to slow down and not to rush into anything, even as you're stepping into these new manifestations of opportunities or doors opening, right? You don't have to rush into it. You don't have to go from 1 to 10 in one day. Allow yourself to be guided, into building strong, stable foundations, is what Spirit is saying, partly here. To be guided strategically and slowly towards your goal. Okay. Make sure that everything is aligned, right? It's not so much about it's not so much about getting there as it is about how you get there. Because how you get there is going to determine the quality that you experience when you get there. Okay. And so this could also be Spirit letting you know to make sure that you're slowing down to make good decisions, and to make sure that you're making the proper decisions, right? Um, and letting you know that you're more than capable. Another thing that I get with the Chariot is this very powerful energy. Spirit is letting you know how capable you are of this. Whatever you have on your mind, Sagittarius, that you've been aiming towards or waiting for the opportunity to do or to step into, Spirit is letting you know that you are more than able to do this. Like, you have this sheer willpower and control here that is on your side. And also, I'm getting a sense of focus that you possess and discipline around this, whatever this is. It's almost as if you've worked really hard to prepare yourself for when the door opens. It's like opportunity meeting preparation equals success. You've worked at this even before having the opportunity to actually experience it. And Spirit is letting you know to not let it stop at that point, but take it all the way to mastery. Spirit wants you to take it all the way to mastery because that's going to be necessary, especially as it pertains to things that will arise on the way as challenges, things that will arise to oppose you. And those things could be just simple things like issues with family, that will attempt to knock you off. Or it could be things at work, little nitpicky things at work, situations that will, cause little friction along the way. And Spirit wants you to know that it's not even the situation that will attempt to thwart what it is that you're doing, but it's the struggle with the challenge and being enslaved by that, right? And so Spirit is saying you are very powerful and able to overcome any challenge that comes your way. Spirit wants you to know your power and this level of influence that you carry. Right? For some reason, Spirit is bringing that out to understand the level of influence. Sagittarius here is coming in into the advice. And so this will be the last cards of clarification we're going to pull here. Clarify the Chariot for Sagittarius in the advice. Right, we have 7 of Pentacles coming in on the shadow side. And then let's get one more, and we're going to close it out. If you're enjoying this, Sagittarius, make sure you like, share, comment. Okay? We appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe if you feel led to do so. And consider hitting the bell so you'll be notified. Okay? All right, one more, Sagittarius. Clarify the cheerleading. Any advice for Sagittarius during this Mars retrograde? All right, so we have the 7 of Pentacles on the shadow side and the King of Cups. Okay, and so overall with the Chariot in general, Spirit is saying, like, don't rush into this. There's no need to. Like, be guided in steady ways. Okay, this is not about getting there fast. This is about building step by step something solid and firm. Okay? And so I feel like Spirit is letting you know that there's something definitely with the King of Cups, something very special about what it is that you have. Because the King of Cups is really strong. It represents this very intelligent energy who is very loyal, is a good word, very loyal. This is somebody that stands loyal to what they have committed to through thick and thin, who never shirks his duties, right? Um, this is somebody who is very faithful and steadfast. This could even be like a merchant. You could provide services or an entrepreneur, right? But a very good steward. So Spirit is letting you know that it's going to work for you to actually aim to possess these kinds of qualities, Sagittarius. Be someone who's strong and intelligent. Be someone who is loyal to your commitments and stand in that. Stand on business, Sagittarius. Be someone who is a faithful provider, doing what you say you're going to do. And if you do that, you will earn a good name. You will be someone who is very respected when it comes to the business that you do or whatever work that you do. If you're a merchant or an entrepreneur, right, you're going to be someone very highly respected if you embody these kinds of qualities. Spirit is also guiding you to be very protective of what it is that you're building. Be a good steward of what it is that you have as well. And be open to be guided. Spirit wants to lead you to this place where you desire to be, Sagittarius. And so you have to have an open spirit to the guidance that's coming in for you, okay? Because it says that you will be guided here. And if you allow yourself to be guided, you won't fall. You won't trip along the way if you allow yourself to be guided, okay? Now, with the 7 of Pentacles, the Pentacles usually does talk about money. It could talk about resources like material items. But overall, the 7 of Pentacles is almost like not allowing yourself to sink into any despondency, to, around any issues, that create a problem, or any issues that you may be dealing with right now. Like, look at the bright side. Try to look at, which Sagittarius really are good at that. They are able to see the cup half full a lot of the times. And so Spirit is saying, yeah, embody your energy as a Sagittarius. Even with the issues that you may be dealing with, find yourself rising above those things. Don't allow yourself to sink in or identify with the energies of like depression, you know, or anxiety, right? Those are the type of things that cause you to become stagnant and stand still and stop moving forward or even finding solutions to your problem. And so Spirit is saying, don't identify with that energy, Sagittarius. And Spirit also wants you to be careful, when it comes to how you're looking at any problems that arise. And if you do that, if you slow down long enough to actually take a look at it instead of like ignoring it or procrastinating dealing with it or just kind of trying to sweep it under the rug, but allow yourself to stop and really take a breath and confront it so that you can come up with good solutions. Right? Remember, there's help here. Spirit is guiding you along this way. There's nothing that you can't overcome here, is what Spirit is saying. Lastly, Spirit is also saying with the Seven of Pentacles not to squander your resources. I feel like that's really important. Not to squander your resources. And so there is the expectation here of being responsible with what you have when it comes to resources. And that could mean in a plethora of things, right? There may be a need to just take a look at how you spend money, why you spend money, take a deep dive to understand your thinking around money. And if there's anything that needs to be deconstructed in the way that you've learned to think about money and then reconstructed, like do that. And so that's what I feel the advice has been from Spirit here. It's basically letting you know that nothing is impossible here because you have all the support you need through love coming in, lots of support with love, lots of support with your finances and career as well. And so this is a really good time. This Mars retrograde is a beautiful time for you, Sagittarius, to really take advantage of the energies that are coming in for you because they're coming in to take you exactly where you've asked to go, where you've expressed desire to be. Okay? And so that's for you. Thank you so much, Saggy, for stopping by. Remember, if you are desiring a personal reading, you can hit me up by email or go straight over to my my calendar and schedule. Okay. I'll be happy to hear from you and service you. And so make sure you like, share, comment. Until next time, thank you, Saji, and I hope you enjoy this Mars retrograde. This is also going to be a time I feel like there's going to be some frustration around communications possibly for you, Sagittarius. This is a time where you are craving freedom and liberation from things that you felt restrictions around. But this is a time where you're going to have some frustrations around communication, and that could be around you setting or clarifying your boundaries with people, or people could be clarifying boundaries with you and just letting your intentions be made known. And so those are some things to kind of look out for during this time. Overall, I feel like understanding the energy of Mars, because it's this very active oriented energy, it's driven to conflict and war, and it's like a battle of wheels. Being that we know that, we can get a better understanding of how to respond to things and how to communicate, keeping that in mind that those aggressive energies are going to be really fired up at this time during Mars retrograde. Is keeping that in mind as you respond and as you go forward to try to resolve conflict would be very helpful. Okay, Saji. All right, that's for you, my darlings. Take care of yourself, and I will talk to you next time. Bye. It's been Blood Moon Oracle.